Let's talk about sex. That's a taboo and often fun subject to get into, so let's dig into actually talking about talking about sex. Hi there. I'm Julie Turner, julieturner.ca, and in today's video, we are going to talk about talking about sex. Now, before we get into this today, if you could like, subscribe, comment, and even share if this content resonates with you, I would be super appreciative. Thank you so much. And please go take a look at some of my other videos that I've done. They're all about relationships and dating and interesting thought processes. All right, for today, we are going to literally talk about sex. So the reason I'm doing this video is there's a couple of reasons. Now, a few years back, probably 3, 4 years ago now, I did a video entitled Let's Talk About Sex, just like this one today. But the reason that I did that video is because I was working with a client and we were working on something unrelated. But she came to me one day and she said, you know, when I have sex with my boyfriend, I don't want to take my clothes off, just the minimal amount of clothes. And I'm thinking to myself, that must be difficult. And she said, how do I get him to understand that I don't want to take my clothes off with him not being upset? And I said, well, let's just put him aside for a moment and let's you and I talk about why you don't want to take your clothes off. And it started this very interesting conversation between her and I, and a very interesting thought process. And the fact is that, especially in North America, but in many other countries as well, we have these Puritan values around sex. And the fact is, and I hesitate to use the word fact very often, but the fact is it's a natural human thing to do. Sex is completely natural and normal. Masturbation is natural and normal. And yet we have put these filters on talking about it, even between couples. So I was watching another video, somebody else's video, and they were talking very openly about, how a lot of men, especially, but women as well, they learn about sex through pornography. And the fact is that most pornography is not sex. At least it's not satisfying sex for both partners. And it just brought up all kinds of things for me. And I am a communication and relationship specialist. So when I work with clients, often sex comes up because it's maybe a bone of contention between them or with one person. I don't always work with couples. Sometimes I work with individuals. And I'll ask them questions about, have you approached this? Have you said this? Have you done that? And it's almost across the board, no, no, no. And it's fascinating to me. So if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, I can't talk about sex, I can't bring that up to my wife or my husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the case may be, please know that you can reach out to somebody like me to be able to understand how to start that communication. julieturner.ca. You can always click on julieturner.ca and book a session, book a strategy call, whatever feels comfortable to you. But let's get back to talking about sex. So if I were to give some guidance around this topic, now, I'm not going to give specific guidance as to how to have sex, what to do, because honestly, wow, sky's the limit on that one. Women, now I've talked to a lot of women, so I'm generalizing here. I have not talked to every woman on earth, but often they come to the table, so to speak, because again, sex does not have to happen on a bed. Come to the table, and they are under the what's the word, false illusion that every man works the same. And often men think that every woman works the same, but it's really fascinating because no human works the same. And half the time we as humans don't even know how we work. We don't know what feels good until we try it. We don't know what's going to work for us in the moment. Sometimes as we're having sex, we're like, oh, that's working today. Sometimes it's way before sex, just FYI, that gets me back to the talking about sex thing. Sex, while you're in the act, so to speak, is not a time to correct or to criticize. Now, men out there that are listening, when a woman tries to subtly move your hand or, moves their body in a certain way, don't fight it. Move with her. Let her guide you, because often in the moment we're not, maybe articulate, maybe we don't want to speak. Again, there's a lot of this oddness around sex where you feel like you can't just say what you want in the moment. Always, I'm all about leading with love, leading with kindness. This includes during sex, that you can say things in the kindest way, as opposed to stop doing that. I don't like that. You can always say, hey, let's try this, possibly this. And again, men and women both are generally open to exploring if their partner isn't judging them, if their partner isn't criticizing them. Please, I'll do a video on the four horsemen of relationships, the things that will destroy relationships. I'll do that soon, I promise. Criticism is a huge one. And people can call it constructive criticism, people can call it their truth, but we all know how to be kind. We all know how to say things in a gentle and understanding way. And we know how to ask for things in the same way. Just sometimes we don't bother because we think we have certain rights. And honestly, the word right, it just brought up something for me. I'm going to do a video on this as well. Lots of videos to come. The video is going to be on, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because often we love to criticize. Now I'm getting a little off topic from the sex topic, but when we criticize, when we act like our truth is the important truth, we forget that we're not always right, and that being right doesn't necessarily have a place in a loving relationship. Being understanding, being accepting. So many times in the bedroom and out of the bedroom, people say, well, I'm asking for this over and over again and I'm not getting it. Guess what, guys? You don't always get what you want. And you have to decide if what you want is a bigger priority than that relationship. So, especially when it comes to sex, because there's certain things that both men and women want or do not want that, their partner might want to explore that. And then there's this huge space for what a relationship looks like. Like maybe you need to explore outside of the relationship. That's not my style, but I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you understand what it is that you want, help you clearly communicate that in the kindest possible manner so that you can have the relationship or relationships that you want. That is why I'm here. As I've said in many videos, literally since I was a very small child, I've looked out into the world and I've gone, why aren't people happy? Why can't they be happy? And I've just done everything I possibly could, educated myself in every possible way because I want people to be happy. Now, happy is a very easily used word. I just want people to be comfortable, confident. There's so many other words that we can apply. Happy is actually very fleeting, and we cannot assume that we're going to get that, be there. It's not a noun, it's a verb, just like love. Love is a verb. You practice it, you do it. You don't arrive there one day and go, yay, I'm at love. You can be in love, but again, if you don't continue to love, you will not stay in love. All right. I feel like I ranted a little bit today. Hopefully it was enjoyable for you guys. If you have any questions on the topic of how to talk about sex in the most caring, loving, diplomatic way so that you can have an amazing, exploring, wonderful, orgasmic sex life, then you give me a call. That is julieturner.ca, and I did say call, but my number is on there. So again, call, book an appointment. I'm here for you, truly and completely. Thank you so much for your time today. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Super helps me. Like it, share it, comment on it. When you have questions, concerns, and cries of outrage, I'm happy to answer to them. And don't forget, I also have a podcast. I often forget to mention that myself. It's called Real Talk. You can find it on everything, but Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. All right. Thank you so much. And I do look forward to hearing from you. Have an amazing afternoon.